In disting NT firmware 1.11, the auto-calibrator algorithm has been significantly expanded with functionalities to automatically compensate for drift and other errors in your VCOs over time. So just to remind us what that does, this is a thing that basically automatically massages your pitch CVs for your particular VCO to make sure everything is in tune all the time. So what we're going to do, this is a version of the wandering sequence patch factory preset. It sounds like this with a nice twinkly piano. So basically the CV and gate that's driving that piano I'm outputting from here, and I am using it to drive a patch using a VCF, a filter, a highly resonant filter, as the oscillator. So this is not calibrated, it doesn't track 1 volt per octave particularly well, it's not designed to, it's a filter, not an oscillator. So if I do that, what you get by default is this. I've got my audio here, which I'll plug in. So you can hear it's roughly playing the sequence, but it's not even remotely in tune, even with itself. So what we'll do is, sorry, I'm just going to unplug that a minute while I continue talking. So I'm going to calibrate it, and then I'm going to show you the new continuous calibration drift correction feature. So I'll pop it in there, I'll turn it on, and I'm kind of cheating here because I've already calibrated it earlier, but I'll do it again. So all we need to do to get it to calibrate, I've multed the output of the VCF, the filter, into the rest of the patch, and also taken a raw output of the filter into here, which is what the auto-calibrator is using for its input. So it can hear the VCO, well, VCF, without anything else going on. So I'll plug it back in, and then we'll run the auto-calibration. There we go. So you can see it, the pitch response is quite non-linear, but it's compensated for that and got something that sounds pretty much correct. And if I re-enable the piano, it's in tune now, which is nice. But oscillators drift, analog oscillators drift a little bit, especially ones that aren't designed to be oscillators like this one is. So the new feature we've got now is this continuous feature. So if I enable that, this input here, which is the one I used for calibration, don't need it when continuous is off. When continuous is on, it's going to continually listen to that input and make sure the oscillator stays in tune. So it's showing me the frequency I'm asking for, the frequency the oscillator is actually giving me, and it's showing me a correction voltage that it's applying to make those things match up better. And there's a time constant involved in that. So it's set to the default 1 second. If that's small, it's really going to tweak that like a kind of auto-tune thing to make it as close as it can. If I turn that up, it's going to very slowly adjust that correction, which is more going to account for drift over time with temperature than sort of note-to-note tuning errors. But I'll just set that back to the default for now. So, I mean, the thing about drift is it can take a long time, right? But so just to simulate that, I'm going to actually move the tuning knob on the filter to change the frequency to simulate it going out of tune. And what you should hear is that basically the algorithm fights me and keeps it in tune. There we go. So I tuned it down. It's now applying a correction to keep it in tune. If I turn that, disable the, well, let's disable the continuous thing. So that's what it was. Basically, I've done that. wibbled it about, oh, it's gone out of tune, but continuous is going to lock that back in. So if we turn the piano back on, so we've actually got a reference for what is in tune. So I'll adjust the tuning. Comes back into tune. So yeah, the idea is to basically have your VCOs not only in tune when you run the calibration, but always from then onwards. It's going to keep track of it and keep it in tune. And just to remind ourselves how bad it is without it. Yay. So there we go, that's the new continuous calibration on the auto-calibrator on the disting NT.